For my followers who are writers, specifically picture book writers, this video is for you. Right now I'm open to queries and I'm sifting through those queries, and most of them are picture book texts. Now, I know there's a perception that picture book texts are harder to sell in the industry. I wrote a whole blog post about that, Kidlit Confusion, over on writingcommunity.ca. Spoiler alert, it's not actually harder to sell those, but the reasons why it seems that way is really interesting, so go check out that post. But for now, I just want to tell you 5 reasons why I reject picture book texts in my query inbox. Number 1 is that it's just too long. And I don't mean too long in the sense that it's more than 500 words. That 500 words thing is just a guideline. What I mean is that it reads long. The plot isn't propulsive enough. With the picture book, basically you need a new plot point on every page, constantly driving the plot forward. And I find a lot of picture books drag and don't have a propulsive enough plot. The second reason is that the author is not leaving enough room for the illustrator. You have to remember that with a picture book, the writing is only half of the story. The art is going to tell the other half. And a lot of writers put too much time into describing things that the illustrator is going to show anyway. And it's just a waste of words. You could use those words in much more interesting ways to explore things that the illustrator can't in a static image, like movement and texture and all kinds of things that just don't come across in a static image. So just make sure you're using your words with the illustrator in mind. The third reason is that the author tried to do rhyme and meter, and even if the rhyme and meter are on point and everything fits, if it just reads like any old rhyme and meter text, there's not really anything new or interesting in those rhymes, then it's just going to come across as cliche and forced. So if you're going to attempt rhyme and meter, first of all, make sure it's on point. And second of all, do something surprising and interesting with that rhyme and meter. Don't just do the same old, same old. The fourth reason is because I find that there's this thing where authors try to make the story educational, and in the process they make it didactic, and you don't want to tell the reader, here, this is the lesson I'm teaching you. Like, that's just not interesting. Like, it makes it feel like the writer is telling the story that the writer wants the kid to read rather than the story the kid wants to read. It's okay for there to be a lesson, but it should be like the character is learning a lesson over the course of the story, and the reader is meant to absorb that lesson just by identifying with that character. So don't build your lesson into your story, just let the story be the lesson. And finally, I find that with a lot of picture book writers, there is a tendency to get a little bit lazy in the writing, in that they know that the art is going to do a ton of the creative work for them. And so they don't really think too much about the stylistic elements of the writing itself. They tell the story comes out, great, it has a plot, but there's not really a lot of thought put into the actual lyricism of the text or how it's flowing. And I would love to see more people put more emphasis into that kind of lyrical writing in their stories. Just because it's a basic plot doesn't mean it can't also be beautiful. So really put some thought into how that writing is going to come across. When I'm just reading the writing, I don't have the pictures to go on. So really try to make that writing stand out by being beautiful, not just functional. I hope that you all find that helpful.